Yo, what's happening, people? So this is a video that I intended to release a couple of weeks ago, but I decided to hold it back simply because I wanted to make sure it was closer to his debut. Bruno Guimarães signing for Newcastle United has completely blown my mind. As someone who's been following Ligue 1 very closely for the last couple of seasons, I fully expected him to rock up for a Tottenham or Man United because make no mistake about it, he would walk into both their midfields. The price being touted as well, £35 million plus £6 million in add-ons. That is a complete and utter steal when you're seeing average players going for that amount. Now, Newcastle's recruitment team have been getting a lot of flack for their scattergun approach, but have finally managed to conclude a significant signing during the heat of the mid-season window. They deserve a lot of credit for that. We saw just how difficult January is during unfruitful negotiations with Lyon and Sevilla for Sven Botman and Diego Carlos. Not to mention the fact that everyone knows Newcastle's minted at the minute, so they're trying to squeeze every single penny out of them that they can. As far as this lad's style of play is concerned, he's an all-action midfielder who'll give Newcastle a bit of everything they lack in the middle. He uses possession well and can pass smartly out of tight positions. That's much needed for Eddie Howe's side as he looks to find the solution to Newcastle's ball retention problems. I mean, seriously, this lot just cannot keep hold of possession to save their lives. He'll go box to box while breaking a play, linking up with teammates, carry possession, and crucially help maintain that possession. Howe likes to have athletic ball players in deep lying positions, and in Bruno, that's exactly what he's going to get. This is largely due to the fact that as a youngster, Bruno played futsal, which uses a mini football on a hard court. That honed his ability to play out from difficult positions as you have to think much quicker. That's seriously going to help him dictate the tempo of play and bring some much needed fluidity to proceedings. In terms of how quickly he's going to adapt to the Premiership, contrary to popular belief, the transition from Ligue 1 to the Premier League can prove less challenging than from other countries, given the pace and physicality in France. Guimaraes may still need time to reach his peak form, but it's not the Farmers League that it's made out to be. I mean, seriously, anyone who actually watches it knows how difficult it is. That is the reason why players who tend to make the move adapt that quickly. It's a bit like when Newcastle signed Johan Kabay in 2011 or Moussa Sissoko in 2013. Those players made an impact straight away, and they will be hoping that this is very much the same here. As far as his experience is concerned, he's got plenty of it despite his young age. Starred in Brazil's gold medal triumph at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Part of Lyon's run to the Champions League semi-finals as the French club beat Italian champions Juventus and then English champions Man City before being knocked out by eventual winners Bayern Munich in the last four. He's a Brazilian international now too with 4 caps. That's not easy to get given the likes of Fabinho and Casemiro are currently knocking about. For reference sakes, he's the same age as Sean Longstaff, yet has about 10 times as much experience both on the international and club level. Contrary to popular belief, he hasn't just signed for the money. If you look at his history, Atletico's main rivals Cortiba got their sporting director to board the same commercial flight as Bruno as he was headed for his medical in order to try and turn his head. He presented him a salary which would quadruple his money. Even though Bruno couldn't believe it at the time, he ultimately chose to keep his word and stay with Atletico, and he reaped the fruits of that decision after becoming a fan favorite during one of the most celebrated chapters in the club's history. So if you think it's just for a paycheck, that isn't true whatsoever. He cares about the long-term project, which might come as a surprise given the modern-day footballer tends to be a mercenary. Certainly not the case here. This is precisely why Bruno is not solely seen as a player who can aid Newcastle's survival chances, although that is obviously the immediate concern, but also becomes central to their long-term project. He's the midfielder around whom the club want to build their ambitious plans, and I believe they're going to do so 100%. As a signing, you only have to look back to Man City about a decade ago. They got Robinho in. That was their statement one. This slide might not quite be that, but I can see him going down the route of Vincent Kompany, becoming a superstar in his own right, not only for his technical abilities, but also his leadership attributes. An example of this was when Atletico were playing Internacional in the second leg of the 2019 Brazilian Cup final and were drawing 1-1 after the first 45 minutes. Bruno was far from happy with what he had just witnessed on the pitch, and so, despite just being 21 at the time, he told players much older than him, "If anyone here is afraid in possession, pass the ball to me because I want to play and win this trophy." This was all with 50,000 supporters in the stands, which is ironically probably the same capacity as St. James's Park. He was completely unfazed by the weight of expectations, and it all worked out well in the end. He was the main man. Atletico eventually won 2-1 on aggregate and lifted the trophy. That just proved his maturity and leadership to play in a pressure cooker environment. Having already led that side to the Copa Sudamerica title the previous season, this man has earned near legendary status in Curitiba. Now, Newcastle supporters might be worried about the fact as to whether or not his teammates are at his level, because he can't be expected to do everything on his own. It is a slight concern because he's used to playing with teams on the front foot. Lyon averaged 58.3% possession this season, which is far removed from Newcastle's 38.5%, which happens to be the Premier League's lowest. However, he isn't afraid to get stuck in. I watched a game against PSG last month and he was terrific despite Lyon only having 31% possession. So even when possession is cut, he still wins the ball back, makes it super difficult for the opposition, and importantly, when he does get the ball, he uses it really well. Doesn't give it away. That's precisely what Newcastle need. He'll therefore be useful in any game regardless of the opposition that he's up against. You can never really guarantee success when it comes to signings. There's always an element of risk, but this guy will go down as the first piece of the trophy-winning jigsaw for Newcastle. I truly believe that. Please let me know what you guys think. If you want me to share any further details, I'll be happy to do so. Take care. All the best for your game against Everton.